So, in case you haven't heard, Tropicana launched a new bottle recently. I wonder if the internet has anything to say about it. Snacks needed. Oh, ooh, ouch. Oh, so good. Oh man, that was not nice. For some reason, I expected the internet to be nice. Turns out, they're not. But man, there's a lot of just backlash, and apparently even some on the consumer side in terms of revenue and market share. I don't know all the data. It's pretty new, so it'll be interesting to see how it all fleshes out. It'll be interesting to see their response, actually. But why did they do it? Why would they have gotten rid of this iconic structure? And why do I even have an opinion about it? I didn't want to say anything about this, except I got a whole bunch of messages and people going, Brent, what do you think? Why did they do this? Are you mad about it? Why are people asking that? Well, because we designed these iconic structures that have been out in the market for years. And so people want to know, like, what do you think about this? We did not design this new structure. If you actually want to hear that story about the whole design of Tropicana, maybe I can do that in a future video. Just hit me in the comments below or DM, or even this mimosa story. That's a cool one. But let's get back to this 46 ounce. So this 46 ounce launched, people are mad about it. I want to take a balanced approach here, right? I want to have an optimistic view of this thing, and let's understand why they did it. Let's not just bash them. Do I think it was the greatest move ever? No, but there's also a lot of pressures that you have to realize that they were feeling. The big one's cost. We cannot ignore cost. When these structures were designed, cost really wasn't the goal. In fact, this was significantly more expensive than the carton and the other bottle that was there, the high density bottle. Like, these were both significant cost increases, but they wanted to be the premium brand, and they were willing to go out there and take a margin hit to show up in a different way. And so what happens with most of these launches is they go out, full steam, and they'll maybe take a hit, and then they work on, okay, how do we improve efficiency? How do we do some other things? And there was a lot of efficiency generation that was done in palette patterns and shelf fit and everything else back then. But how do we take weight out of it? How do we cost save it, right? And so, the cap gets a little bit lighter, the bottle gets a little bit lighter, fluting gets a little shallower, things just start kind of creeping out over the years. The bottle shrinks to 52 ounce, to 46 ounce. And we just have to be realistic and say that shrinkflation is a legitimate thing, and you can debate it all you want. But if costs are going up for labor, for goods, for transportation, for everything, we either have to pass that cost directly onto the consumer or try and maintain their grocery bill as much as possible and reduce just what they get. And brands are left with that. Like, hey, do we just get more and more expensive on shelf, or do we try and maintain a price point and have to reduce our product or reduce the cost to produce it? So it's a thing, but we can't just bash them for shrinkflation. They had to get more profitable to begin with. We don't know what their profitability numbers were, but likely they've been feeling a lot of erosion. And so by reducing the weight of the cap significantly and just going with a stock cap, the cost is significantly lower. By the simpler, smaller shape, they can reduce some of the material savings in here, and call it sustainability, call it cost savings, call it whatever, but it's a necessary evil that has to happen. And so there's one thing that's the iconic structure. Did they lose it? Yeah, they did. They try to maintain fluting, whatever. There's the shrinkflation piece, the cost component to it. But like on the positive side, some people have said, hey, you can get more facings on the shelf, or hey, this fits in my fridge door. You're right. Some people are like, oh, I like the grip of this better. Some people are like, I hate the grip. I like this one better. You've got people on both sides of this aisle, and I think there's validity to both of them, right? Like this is lighter. It may be in some ways. Hopefully, they did some analysis of consumer fit and handleability. I don't know. I kind of doubt it. But anyways, like all those components have to be brought into this, and you know, that whole like grip and ergonomics piece, the sustainability, the plastic reduction, like it all tells a story. And you can hate it, you can love it, but there's reasons for it. And I think that's what on this channel we try and do more than anything, is just give context to why it's happening and not just rip somebody apart because they lost it. Now, do I think it's the best move? I don't. But I understand why they did it, and that's really important. So if you want to have a healthy, friendly dialogue and debate down the bottom, let's look at both sides of this. Let's have this optimistic, holistic approach to it. And you don't have to love it, but let's have a good, healthy dialogue about it. And what can we learn going forward as a brand? Like, is there more equity they could have pulled in? Are there other things that could have happened? Could they have communicated with consumers differently? There's a lot of other things that could have been looked at, and we didn't do this structure, so I wasn't privy to all of those conversations. But, whew, that was a mouthful. Let's just have a healthy dialogue about it and acknowledge why brands make decisions. And that is the squeeze on Unpacked. Thanks for watching. So this was actually the most thought I've ever put into a shirt for this channel. The glasses happen to be orange. Found out when I was looking here at this here camera.